It's Faith Talk, everybody. Welcome. Check this out. So we are Pacific Broadcasting Network, and we are always live with Samuel. Make sure you tune in.
Everyone, Faith Talk with Samuel. My name once again is Samuel after Dankyi. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. I have a really special guest today, and I'm really excited for this episode. It's actually a first for us. If you've seen any of our episodes, everyone I think that I have had on is a Christian. And today I have one of my Muslim brothers with me, so I'm really excited for this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Abdul Sule. Yay!
Yep.
How you doing, man?
Good. I'm good. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Likewise, man.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the beautiful pictures that you sent me of your daughter. I can't believe she's 3 months already. How is fatherhood?
Man, time flies. It's a beautiful thing. It's a life-changing experience.
Yeah,
It's something you wake up every day to look up to. To know that somebody is there who depends on you. It's a
definitely.
blessing.
It is indeed a blessing. Now, how has that changed you?
Oh, a whole lot. My life evolves around that little one right now. So I'll say I'm a whole different person now.
Definitely. I mean that's really good to hear, and I can see it in you that I can see the transformation, and I'm really happy for you and your wife. I mean, like you said, kids are a blessing. I know it can be really difficult, especially in this country, working, being in school, and also having to raise kids. So kudos to you and your wife, and we thank Allah for all the blessings He's bestowed upon you. Now,
Thank you.
yes, yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. So we are live on Faith Talk. I really wanted to talk to you today about the Islamic faith because you and I, even though I'm a Christian and you are a Muslim, you are one of my best friends, and I consider you a brother. And it's really great that we have this cordial relationship, but I look at America as a whole and I see a lot of Islamophobia, and people don't really seem to understand Islam, or people who worship, uh, people who practice your faith, I should say. What do you think is the biggest misconception about Muslims or Islam in America?
Um, I think is the message that people that have put out there. I feel like I mean it all starts with the way people read Islam from how people have put it out there. Like let's say when people are gonna do something bad, they might mention Allah's name, and that's not in the Quran. That's not what it says.
Yeah,
So that's an example. That those stereotype and say, oh, all Muslims are bad.
yeah,
No, that's just one group of people doing things involving God's name that doesn't teach Islam, or that doesn't say this is what Muslims should do.
mm,
So that has contributed a lot in this country, especially after 9/11,
mm,
because they're Muslims, but they're radicals. That's not what Islam teaches. That's not in the Quran. That's just a group of people, you
mhm.
know, who executed a plan, and this. So that,
And it's really interesting how you make the distinction, because I mean, in Christianity or any other faith that we can talk of, we can find bad ones in there, right? There are
yeah,
Christians, even in our home country of Ghana, there are pastors who are cheating people, pastors who are doing all types of stuff. There are Christians in general who are bad people. They cheat, they lie, they steal, and all of that. But you don't seem to get this type of hatred or animosity towards them. So why? I'm trying to understand why, especially in this country and most parts of Europe and the developed world, why is there seem to be this type of animosity towards Islam? Is it just that people don't understand? Because, like I said, Christians are allowed to make mistakes. They are bad Christians, but you don't hear so much hatred towards Christians or Jews or Hare Krishna, whatever faith you can think of. They are bad people everywhere. So why do you think Muslims are singled out in this way?
Yeah, good question. That's something, I don't have a straight up answer for, but it's me as a Muslim, it's one of my responsibility to teach everybody that, hey, this is not what, this is the right thing, this is a good, this is a bad thing, this is what we're supposed to do, this is not what we're supposed to do. So coming to that question, that is something that has been stereotyped and something that has been instilled in everybody's minds, that Muslims are bad, Muslims do this. So, you know, and that has, I think it's now being carried on generation after generation. So, it's a tough one.
It is a
So we as Muslims, we just have to continue to do the right thing
yeah.
and show the world that we're not bad people. This is what our religion teaches us.
Mhm.
You know,
So for someone who is watching us right now who doesn't really know much about Islam or like you said, because the stereotypes are there,
yeah,
when they think of terrorism or if there is an incident of shooting, people are just waiting to connect the dots. Oh, was the person a Muslim? If the
yeah.
person was not a Muslim, then oh, it's maybe mental health issue. But if the person is a Muslim, then
Then
generally,
they
people say
they blow it up.
yeah, it's a terrorist attack and all of that. So for
Yeah.
people who don't know or understand Islam, what can you tell them? What can you tell everyone what Islam stands for?
Islam is a religion of peace. So I mean, I would encourage everybody to do some research, or if you know any Muslim or Muslim sister, Muslim brother, ask them questions. We'll be willing to tell you like what Islam is really about. You know.
Definitely. And so, would you also say that our Muslim brothers and sisters, for the most part, have not done a lot in terms of educating the general public? Uh, like you and I, we are friends, we hang out, we talk, and even when we take it back home to our home country of Ghana, we live side by side. You will find Christians at Muslim events. We attend Muslim weddings. And the same with Muslims. We have Muslim friends who will come to my house and all of that. So we have that cordial relationship and we understand one another a lot better. So let's bring it to the stage where we are now. Would you say that Muslims like yourself need to do a lot more so that people who may not necessarily understand or have all these negative perceptions know what you guys are really stand for?
Yes. With the fear of Islamophobia and all that, I don't think people like myself, would put yourself in that position to go, educating or teaching, because you don't know who's gonna come at you. So
Mhm.
the best thing is, you know to teach somebody who seek out to you, who wants to know, to find out. Yeah, because we are Islam is a religion. We don't force people, to convert or to know more about the religion or anything. Like, we're not like Jehovah Witness who gonna go door to door, try to educate or try to teach you Islam. We don't do that. And with the fear of Islamophobia, I don't think, like myself, to go around teaching or preaching or educating people about Muslim. I wouldn't do that. But what I would do, if you reach out to me for knowledge about Islam, I'll be more than happy to share my thoughts and knowledge.
Definitely. Now, Baba, let's talk about COVID. COVID-19 has definitely affected all of our lives, right? The way we worship as Christians has definitely changed. And so I know it's the same for you guys. How are you adjusting and how has that affected your faith?
I don't think it has affected my faith, because faith is, I mean, whatever circumstance, we are right now, it shouldn't affect your faith, but it has definitely affected the way we worship.
Hmm.
For instance, Muslims, we don't worship or stand for prayers spaced out. We stand uh, foot to foot, shoulder to shoulder next to our brothers. But now with COVID, we have to space out 6 feet apart, and that's one of the big challenge because we don't space out when praying.
Hmm.
But as for faith wise, it hasn't affected any faith. We just continue to pray harder, and resolve COVID spiritually.
So I saw that this year, because of COVID, the Hajj trip to Mecca was really scaled down. Obviously, because if you have seen previous years, there are a lot of people that go to Mecca every year. And because of COVID, of course, initially I think the news was that they were going to cancel it, but then they allowed a few people to come through this year. So as far as this new way of worship because of COVID, given that you guys have to now space out like we are also doing in our churches, do you think people are adjusting well to it, or um, how are people taking it in your mosque?
um, I think people are adjusting slowly, not well, you know, because for instance, like at the mosque, for our Friday Juma prayers,
Hmm.
we have a lot of people who show up. It's hard to even get parking. But right now, they limit the number of cars. The number of people, I think, is about my mosque is about 40 people right now they allow at a time. So and they spaced out the prayer times too. So it's as for adjusting wise, I'll say slowly. We cannot adjust to this. I don't think it's something would get comfortable with. So we
So
just
speaking of the comfortability, I mean,
yes,
I know from studies and knowing a lot of Muslim friends that you are required to pray 5 times a day, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, given that now, when you go, especially to the Friday Juma prayers, because of COVID, the scheduling has to change. Does that not affect the times that you do the five prayers?
Well, yes, it does. It does affect the times. The Juma prayer is always the afternoon prayer,
Hmm.
which is between 1 to 2 o'clock. So within that time, there's they space that time for the Juma prayers.
So, are they still saying reciting the same amount of prayers, or are they doing it like are they doing a shorter version of it because they want to give everyone time and opportunity to come into the mosque, or how is it working
No, they cannot short the version of the
out?
prayer. No, that stays the same.
Okay,
They cannot rush a prayer, or they cannot shorten how many times or the length. No, that stays the same. The prayer structure,
it stays the same.
the imam runs it the same way. Yeah, he doesn't shorten the length of the prayer or anything.
Okay, so in that case, does do you guys discourage people from coming into the actual mosque? Because I know you can pray anywhere, right? I've seen Muslims who even pray in the desert areas when there's even no water to do the ablution. And ablution, by the way, if you don't know what it is the ritual washing of hands and all of that Muslims do before prayers. I
Yeah.
know it can be substituted with whatever you have given the circumstance that you are in. So, is it are you guys discouraging people from coming into the actual mosque because of all the COVID-19 restrictions, or are people still wanting to come to the actual mosque, especially on Friday?
Uh, Friday prayers is like your Sunday church, right? So it's something everybody
Once,
looks up to. Yeah, want to be there to get the preaching, the lessons, And in the Quran, I mean, like you mentioned, why don't we pray solo? Because you see people praying solo.
Mm-hmm.
In the Quran, it says, when you pray solo, I mean, like a point system. You only get 1 point, but when you pray with a group, you get 27 points, like a blessing. So it's encouraged to pray in a group, even if it's 2 or 3 people. It's encouraged. So yes, they encourage us to pray in group, but due to COVID, they also encourage us to stay home more. But there are other resources too, though. So
Mask and everything,
say it again.
the PPEs and all of that. Are you guys
Yes,
asking and all that?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay, that's interesting. So another thing I wanted us to touch on is I know the restrictions are coming up again because they said, or it's been reported that COVID is increasing nationwide again. I'm just going to read a post that the governor just put out about California. So California is reportedly the second state in the U.S. with the highest number of infection cases, only after Texas. We are the second to reach a million infections in the US. And so the governor says the positivity rate is now at 3.9%. Daily cases is averaging at 6,719. Hospitalizations is at 36% increase. ICU is at 37% increase as well. And now you are a nurse, so you will know more about the dangers these numbers speak to. Now, another twist to this is I know that there has been a number of religious groups, especially mega churches, who are suing the governor and governors, I should say, it's because it's not just in California, but it's across the U.S. Um, they are suing the governors because of these measures that they are putting in place. We understand as people of faith the need to go into our various places of worship, but there's also this pandemic that is fast spreading. So, do you think it's a good thing for religious organizations, be it Christians, Muslims, or what have you, to sue the state in such a time when they are trying to prevent the spread of diseases?
I don't think it's a good thing to sue the state. The state is implementing measures, right, to prevent, like you mentioned. So why don't you abide with the rules to help prevent, rather not abide and make it worse? So it's a matter of patience. Everybody want to practice. So why don't you follow the rules and help control the COVID before it explodes?
Yeah. So, what would be your advice to people who are watching this right now, Muslims, Christians, all people who may be watching this right now? What will be your message to people who are feeling exhausted with the restrictions and they don't even want to comply anymore? What can you tell them?
Just be patient. Be patient and have faith. Patient, have faith, and abide with the rules. 6 feet, wear the mask, stay home when you're sick,
Hmm,
and pray for the better.
pray for the better. So, I have the Quran here. I don't know that you know this, but I have the Quran here, and the Imam who gave me this actually blew my mind with the explanations he gave. We had a guest Imam
Okay. Okay.
lecture last semester. He was a guest lecturer, a guest
Okay.
lecturer, I should say. And after the class, he gave everyone who wanted. I wanted one, so he gave me one. But
Okay.
he really explained. The notion, I think you spoke a little bit about that earlier. This thing about jihad and people using Allah's name to
Yeah.
murders. And the type of explanation he gave me really made me understand that the actual word jihad doesn't even mean what people are making it to be like. So again, what do you think is the reason uh, people who are willing to like harm other people just feel the need to associate themselves with the faith of Islam in order to do that? Don't you think they're giving you guys like a bad name?
Oh yeah, but for the reason I cannot say the motive,
Mhm.
why, because I'm not associated, so I don't know what. So I don't have a reason for them, for their actions. But it's totally 100% not acceptable for them to associate, yes, Allah's name in their terrorist group. Yes, it's not what it teaches us. It's not something we believe in. So it's we don't agree with that.
Definitely. So there's one more thing I want us to talk about. There's this I think in France there is a group. I think he's a journalist or an artist who has been the focal point of confusion with the. He's been clashing a lot with um, the Muslim community because he keeps making fun of the Holy Prophet. He draws cartoons of the Prophet, and it's actually incited a lot of violence towards his publishing house and other people as well. And the question I have for you is, I know how important the Prophet Muhammad is to all Muslims, but we also live in a space where like journalists or an artist have something we call artistic freedoms. So an artist can draw anything and everything they feel or deem artistic, right? And so you talked about us having patience and having faith um, to get through this pandemic. So my question is, why are and I mean, I don't mean to put this on you. If you don't have an answer, that is great. But why do you think Muslims in especially in France and in parts of Europe, why are they being so angry or being? I feel like this guy is really trapping them, trapping them to
Mhm.
get them angry, to get people to do the worst. But if someone is drawing a cartoon of the Holy Prophet, as annoying as it seems, or it might be, don't you think it will be, or is there a way like a Muslim can see something like that and say, okay, I know this is bad, but I'm not going to respond with violence? Is it possible?
Yeah,
Okay. It is possible for a Muslim to see something that has been done about the Holy Prophet or even about Allah and still prevent themselves from reacting in a way that will like harm or put any other person in danger, right?
yeah, of course. Of course, I don't think that incident. I don't think it's happened just one time. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
happened
that's what has
multiple times.
aggravated
Yeah,
the anger. Most, that's what people really think Muslims is. We are violent. We're this. We're that. It's not a one time thing.
yeah,
And I think the message is out there. Like it's not acceptable for you to draw cartoons or pictures of the Prophet, peace be upon him.
yeah,
So I think it's not the first time. So why would you continue doing this when the people of Islam have reacted over it? So why would you do it again to make them more angry?
yeah. And my point has been
So
that
you calling for war, right?
yeah,
And
you
then
told me
later they'll blame Islam. They'll say you are
that
violent,
they are
but
reacting.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just the same way where here in the states where um, people are angry at black people for their reaction to say police brutality, but then they
yeah,
don't really take a look at what caused people to go out and
yeah.
shout or
Well, yes,
demonstrate in the street.
yes.
So people are more concerned about the reaction rather than what actually caused.
What actually caused it? Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. Anyway, it's great to have you here explaining all these stuff for us. So
I try my best, you know, from what I know. I'm not no scholar. I'm not no scholar, so you know.
so we are going to end. We are going to end on a really fun note. I have this game we are going to play. It's called Fast Five. So I'm going to
Okay.
ask you five quick questions. I don't want you to think about them. Just give me an answer straight away.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your favorite color?
Green.
What's your wife's favorite color?
Pink.
Okay. What's your ideal family size?
Say it again.
Ideal family size.
Family size
Uh-huh.
3.
So that's it. The baby girl, and that's it.
Oh no, sorry. 4, 4, 4. I thought you mean right now, right now. What's my family
No.
size? Sorry.
Oh, right now you have one, so it's three.
Yeah, yeah, 4, 4, 4. Sorry.
Okay, so we're expecting another one, huh? Okay.
Yes, inshallah.
All right. So Android or iPhone?
iPhone
iPhone. Okay, that's five, right? Or you have four?
4.
Four. Okay. So would you virtual service or in-person service for more?
In person.
In person. All right. Well, Baba, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you and all my blessings to your family, your wife, and your beautiful daughter. I can't wait to see her in person. But thank you so much for coming on and helping all of us understand that Islam is really a faith of peace and loving people. And I know I've been through our friendship and our brotherhood that is what Islam is. So it really breaks my heart that people, especially in this country, don't seem to know or understand that. But many thanks to you for coming on, and we really appreciate you. So that is our show. Thank you, everybody who was able to watch us. Please go ahead and share this with all of your friends and families until we come your way. May the blessings of Allah since we did a Muslim episode today. May the blessings of Allah be with all of you. Thank
I
you,
mean,
Baba.
thank you.